It's got the fights, it's got the bad language, it's got the gore. So why am I a little bit underwhelmed by Mortal Kombat?
Get over here! Finish them!
Mortal Kombat tells the story of struggling MMA fighter Cole, played by Lewis Tan, who stumbles upon his destiny when he beats Jax, played by Mehcad Brooks, and Sonya Blade, played by Jessica McNamee. And these guys are seeking out Earth's greatest champions to go into an immortal battle against the enemies of Outworld. It's Mortal Kombat, you know the score by now. Just beat the shit out of each other. So for me, the fights were fantastic, the action's fantastic, the pace and the effectiveness of the fight scenes, it is intense, the fatalities are there, it's all there. For me, the problem is the characters are just dull as dishwater. Lewis Tan as Cole is one of the most unconvincing, unsympathetic, boring leads I have seen in an action film for a long time. There's just nothing to him. It's so generic and surface level, his story, and his performance isn't great. His character isn't great. Other than the fights, everyone's great in the fights, but you just don't care about any of these characters, at least for me. You watch the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, and these characters are full of energy, they're full of banter, they're full of character. The actors are better. Other than Sub-Zero, played by Joe Taslim, Kano, played by Josh Lawson, and Raiden, played by Tadanobu Asano. These are great. These are fantastic. Sub-Zero is amazing in this. I cannot praise Sub-Zero as much in this. He is nightmarish. He is Terminator-esque in this. He is terrifying. By the end of this movie, there is ice just everywhere, because Sub-Zero's remnants have just left all over the place.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
So Sub-Zero fully delivers. Sub-Zero is excellent in this. And Kano, played by Josh Lawson, is great. I love his outbursts. I love his foul mouth. They really take advantage of the rated R, with this, because he's just swearing every other sentence. And it's refreshing to see that, because you just don't see or hear swearing in movies these days. And this has got swearing every few minutes. It's great to see the characters actually insult each other how you would in real life. If you were in this situation, you would be throwing F-bombs left and right. There is just swearing all over this. There's bad language all over this. And it does add some kind of spontaneity and fun, and it basically comes out of Kano's mouth most, but he's great. Josh Lawson is really, really good. Really, really charismatic performance. Ludi Lin plays Liu Kang, and he's just not really a part of the proceedings, really. He talks monotone, he's boring. You think of Robin Chow's performance in Mortal Kombat 1995, full of energy, full of electricity and grit and humour. This guy has nothing. He is boring. And the problem with this film is the majority of the characters are so boring that you're just sitting there waiting for the next fight to happen. And, in the 1995 Mortal Kombat, it wasn't like that for me. I liked watching the banter. I really, really did. These characters don't have banter. It almost feels like the script, it just throws a little gag in there now and again, but not enough of them. And the characters deliver them in just such an unconvincing way. And no one ever has chemistry. No one ever gels in this. Every character feels really awkward playing off each other. There's no real chemistry to any of the characters, and I just couldn't get invested. And the storytelling is painfully generic. It really, really is. Mortal Kombat 1995 had generic storytelling, but it had the humour, it had some fun kind of plot lines, had a little bit of a heart to it. This starts off, you think there's going to be heart to it, and there just isn't. It kind of pulls back on the humour, and it's just bland. It's really bland, and anything that does happen, any discussion between the characters, is the most generic stuff ever. Jax and Sonya have some just truly dull as anything dialogue between each other that is just thrown in there so that these characters can have something to say. It almost feels like they're padding time a lot in this movie, which is bizarre, because there's no need to. A lot of the movie is training scenes. It feels meandering. I don't want to see these characters train. I want to see them actually fight in Mortal Kombat. There's just nothing really in the middle of this film that draws me in. The last half an hour though is insane. It is nuts. It makes this film worthwhile. It's just the fights you want. It's the fights you want. With the fatalities you want. With the action you want. With all the ice you could ever want from Sub-Zero. This is everything you would want from Mortal Kombat in fights. You know, blood, gore, guts, and just everyone hitting their signature moves. Fast pace, frenetic, insanity. It feels like the video game completely and utterly come to life, and it feels like the modern video games come to life. I really am a sucker for the 90s film. I just am. I feel it's more memorable. It might be that it's nostalgic for me, but I just feel like the actors were having a ball in that. And the actors in this, they're trying so hard to make it serious. No one's ever able to kind of come out of their shell acting wise. You know, one of the most bland leads ever. And which is a shame, because when he's fighting, he's brilliant. He's fantastic. I just wish I cared. I just couldn't get behind the leads. And I just can't believe that I was disappointed by Liu Kang. Liu Kang's one of my favourite characters in Mortal Kombat. What a disappointment. But you know what? I do recommend the film. I really, really do. Just for the insanity of the fight scenes. But hey, I think we can all agree, no matter what happens, it's 100 times better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
No! Oh, please, God, no!
Thanks for watching, everyone. What did you think of the new Mortal Kombat movie? Let me know in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please click on the screen now my review of the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. And please subscribe if you're a movie geek just like me. And I will see you guys in the next video.